So I was going to make a video basically to answer the question, was it worth it going for my LPN? Now, I'm going to say, in my case, yes, it was worth it going for my LPN. I made a video, comparing the two, but I'll elaborate more with the LPN for this video so you can understand. For me, as a single mom with some support, like my mom, is definitely helpful with my children, but not aunt, uncle, some people got this outrageous support system, you're like, wow, amazing, if I could only, that wasn't my situation, but I definitely had some support, enough that it gave me the ability to make it through my 11-month program. So I feel like it was worth it. I even look at the situation now, going back to school, how it allowed me the ability to not have to work, 60 some hours or whatever. I don't know, or I don't really even know, to be honest, anybody that, not to toot my horn, and honestly I give all praises to God as to how I'm even doing this thing, but I'm just saying I really never met anybody, even in my program now, and even the previous class, graduation class I was supposed to be in, that lived alone and was working a job besides medical, that was able to swing going to school as well. So I have not met them. I'm not saying there's people out here that are not doing it, because maybe they are, but I just don't know where you will work at that you could afford to live alone while you're in LPN or RN school, and the amount of time needed to be dedicated in into the program. I just don't see where you will work at living alone. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not sure, but again, like I said, it probably is people that do it. But anywho, for me, so I can tell you guys what I did, and I don't know how to attach stuff, but I can remember the checks, so I will tell you what I made. So I went to school. Like I said, it was an 11-month program. It took me 11 months to complete. It was a 8 to, I want to say 4. It was either 8 to 4 or 8 to 3 type of program. You know what? It was 8 to 3. And I remember because I had to be at work by 4. So I went to school 8 to 3, Monday through Thursday. And I worked Friday to Sunday, 4 to 10. I want to say, oh, you know what? I work 4 days a week. I think I worked Thursday, Friday, 4 to 10. And then Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 10. Something like that. And when I tell y'all, so let me just repeat that again. I went to school Monday through Thursday. I worked Thursday through Sunday. So I was out of the house 7 days a week. Unless we had a break, in which the LPN program, like I tell y'all, in my opinion, I know people throw shade on LPNs, but it's a much, much more vigorous program. I don't care what anybody says. There is not the break that you get. A traditional RN program follows a traditional college, 2-year, 4-year, doesn't matter. Days off, holiday, break, vacation type of program. A LPN program does not follow that. They don't. They just don't. I don't know if others do, but mine did not. We didn't have that much time off. We didn't. You know what I'm saying? So it was really vigorous. I remember it. I can't forget that one. Oh, I might forget a lot of things, but that won't be it. Felt like boot camp kind of thing. But anyway, so my work schedule was, like I said, Thursday through Sunday, 4 to 10, Thursday, Friday. Saturday, Sunday was 8 to 10. When I tell y'all, I think I grossed every 2 weeks, it was no more than about $700 and something. So that means my take home was under $700. With 2 children, 1 kid on the way, and an apartment, which much love to my landlord at the time. My apartment was only $600. I want to say it was $690. It wasn't no more than like seven something, but it was affordable. And it even with that said, it got to a point where I couldn't even afford it. But what I did was so back then I was able to get help paid for school. So I used my stipend check that I got, that first portion of the schooling. I think we got like $1,000, and I told him, please, I'm gonna give you what I got. When I get this school check, I will give you the rest of the money. And that's exactly what I did. I think I gave him my whole little $1,000 check, but I had to pay my rent. You know, where was me and my kids gonna live at? So, but yeah, y'all, I was grossing. I mean, I was bringing home probably like no more than about like $1,400 a month. And my rent, my living took most of that. Now back then I was able to get stamps, but still that wasn't, you know, cash. I had cars to break down on me. There was a portion of time where I had to use my mom's car and depend on her to get back and forth from school, or using her car to get back and forth from school. It was a rough 11 months. That's what I mean by I feel like it's just more vigorous. There's no break. There's no 15 weeks and then a nice little Thanksgiving break that we're about to go on. And as of next week, there was none of that. It was a straight through program. It was, you know what I'm saying? So, was it worth it? Yes, because like I said, going back from my RN now, some of the information I pull from my LPN, not so much. I am not gonna lie to y'all, not so much. I feel like RN is definitely more in depth. You go a little bit deeper than an LPN program would have you to go, as far as with the body systems, with processes you need to know. You're not going to tell your RN supervisor. You are the RN supervisor, so you need to know what you're talking about. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit more information, I will say that, but it's more understanding. And may even be at the school I go to, they're very, very much understanding at my school. Now, why it paid, the biggest thing, again, I really, really feel like because I took the time to go get my LPN, it allotted me the ability to work flexible like I do right now. I do a lot of agency. I'm gonna be real with y'all, and everybody might not agree with that. When I can work, I work. I'll do doubles. I'll work different shifts. When I can't, I cancel. When I know I got something to do and I thought I could do it, I cancel. I can't. I put my schooling first. You know, y'all seen my other video. I was on my way to work. I was like, I can't. And I did plan to work. I did. It was just like, I said, I have gotten no sleep. I have not sat and studied at all. This test is coming. I have not got any kind of ground. And that's what I really try to get. I'm going to tell y'all that too. When I study, I don't sit with a bunch of books open. I don't have time to. And nor do I absorb information like that. I realize that. I literally get the gist of it. I use the map that I showed y'all before, and I can actually show you guys again in another video. But I literally write out my concept map. I get a good gist of what I'm studying. If I need to elaborate, if I need to understand any other like medications, I'm not too sure about these side effects, I'm not too sure about the risk factors, I get a little deeper. And then from there on, after that, I go right into questions. And that's how I study. That's exactly how I study. It's been working. I showed y'all my grade point. You know what I'm saying? It's been working. I'm not an A student, but I'm getting what I need to get to be able to pass my program. I'm just registered for my other classes for my last level. I think last week I did my registration. So it's working. That works for me. And like I said, I can gross if I wanted to. Honestly, I wouldn't even get on here and show y'all paychecks because my paychecks wouldn't look like probably somebody else's that really grinds. But I will tell y'all can work a 40-hour week and make no less than about $1,400 a week. And that's at the bare minimum. That's not taking last minute shifts because last minute shifts pay more. I've made, actually working on Thanksgiving, I'm going to make $62 an hour from working a 12-hour shift. So that's anywhere on the upwards of almost $800 for that day. For 12 hours. So the money is there. The money is there. That's why I said, please don't think LPNs don't make money. They make a lot of money. They make good money. I know LPNs that make more money than RNs, especially in my area. Especially if you do agency, you'll make it. As a beginning LPN, I can give y'all that information too. I worked for a pediatric agency, one-on-one, and I want to say my lowest rate was 20 an hour. It was either 20 or 25. I want to say it was 20, and I feel like there was a starting RN there that was making 25. That's at my lowest pay. And then it's always been upwards of that, 27. I'm talking about my first year, $27 an hour. And now, I typically try not to take anything lower than 40. I worked the shift today, making 35 an hour. I'll do it, especially my situation to pay off my schooling. But I typically try not to go lower than $40 an hour, and that's typically what's offered. No less than 40 an hour, unless you go on staff, which in this area, again, it depends on what area of the country, state you live in. But this area in Pennsylvania is typical to not drop any more than about 33 an hour from my experience. But you really have to know your rate. And I was told this by an RN supervisor, and she ain't lied. She said, know your rate, like decide your rate and stick with it. And that's the real deal, because you will get lowballed. They will try to pay you less than expected. You need to know your rate and you need to stick with that. And even if that means, if you do agency, if that means not working a few days, that's fine. Because if you're not in school like me and constantly paying for something, you can actually just work a good bit and then sit back for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Don't work. You know what I'm saying? But you should never have to work less than what you know you're worth, because it is a hard job. You know what I'm saying? And why should you ever make less than when you know that someone else will pay you more than what another facility might be offering you? So definitely have your rate, be lenient, as you are just coming out of school. You don't want to be like, I'm only working for $60 an hour, because you're not going to get that. You know what I'm saying? But know the rates, look them up. If you in Idaho and they paying, $35 an hour out for 1 year of experience, you go for 30. You know what I'm saying? Tell them, you will work for $30 an hour, but you still are making a decent amount. You want to see your money work for you. And then if it works for you, I'll tell y'all too, I did agency for all of my career. If you're more like a person, it depends on how you are. Again, I told y'all about me. I'll go with the flow. I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I made a lot of errors, though. I will be honest with y'all. When I really think back, when I decided to do agency straight out the back, I made a lot of errors with like punching stuff out that somebody wasn't supposed to get. Like, let's say somebody had two type of is a medicine called clonazepam. Sometimes they'll put them on like a 0.5 milligram and a 1 milligram. I remember like punching wrong stuff out, or punching the wrong, or pulling the wrong patches. I made a lot of errors. I didn't have the skill of going to a facility, not knowing the people and being able to flow with it, because I was familiar with the technique. But now that I've put 7 years into me being an agency nurse, I can go pretty much anywhere, any state, any facility. I've done detox, I've done long term, I've done rehab, I've done correction, like I told y'all, and I can